Now, listen, you guys, it seems like Remy Ma has decided to latch on to Nicki Minaj yet again to get a bit of traction. And we're going to be talking about, Kenya Moore and this entire Salis situation, as well as Central C allegedly cheating. Ken Barbie is out there clearing everything out in as far as Armon Wiggins and the Transformer are concerned. Now, these are some of the things that we are going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's team. So first of all, let us talk about Remy Ma, okay? It seems like she released a new song together with Fat Joe, okay? And so the beginning of that song, she says, they said SHOT word, my friend, over a band, and imagine what I'd do to a beat that I can't stand. Okay, and so obviously you guys do know that, well, that was in reference of Nicki Minaj's diss towards her, when Nicki Minaj was out there saying that, well, what kind of does that to a friend over a steak. Okay, and this is years later. This is when she has decided to address that entire statement years later. Okay, if this is not giving cloud chasing, I don't know what is. Okay, because she had an entire opportunity. She released a lot more other songs after that song, and we never heard her address that. Okay, so the fact that in 2024 Nicki is on tour, Nicki is on top, Nicki is popping, here comes Remy Ma again trying to rekindle something that has been over for a long time. So the fact that she's out there doing that, I'm looking at her sideways, because even after she did Shida, she was walking around saying that, well, she regretted doing that. So I'm like, what changed in 2024 that made you come back trying to address things that you were out there saying, well, they're over and done with and stuff like that. Okay, so, and also the interesting part is there were several blogs that were posting about this entire situation, especially about the opening line, and people started saying that, you know what, is giving paid promo. I saw God the Scoop was even clocking it as well, saying that, you know what, this is actually giving paid promo. And it's very weird that, well, the paid promo would amplify that line that she seemingly addresses Nicki Minaj's diss to her. And I'm just like, Remy, the train has left the station. Okay, find something else to look for clout with. Okay, and is this you trying to rekindle a beef with Nicki Minaj again? Are you trying to come up with another district towards Nicki Minaj? Because this time we're gonna be concerned, okay? Because the last time we checked, you initially said that you didn't have an issue with Nicki Minaj. A few weeks later, you came up, with Shida, and then after that you're like, you regret, and now you're coming back, poking this woman for what again? Nicki hasn't been addressing you for years. So really, this is very weird. And if she does come on, she continues to diss Nicki Minaj, it's just gonna show now that she's just a plain hater or loser, or somebody who receives money to diss people. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about Remy Ma doing all this. I find it very corny, and I'm glad that a lot of people are clocking what is happening right now. It's very sad. It's very pathetic. I'm like, you got the surgery, okay? Because previously she was out there saying the reason why you get attention is because you're dressing provocatively. Oh my God, it's because you have surgeries. Oh, you're this, you're that. You did all that, Now you're walking around with that entire, attire from ancient times. You're walking around with that attire that looks like you're unclad. You've had surgery allegedly. You have lost weight. So if you were claiming that, well, the reason why Nicki gets attention is because she is all that, why are you not getting the same attention? Why is still poking at Nicki Minaj to get a little bit of attention? You know what? Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Central C. Now, Central C is being accused by his ex of, cheating with Ice Spice, which I don't think makes any sense, in my own opinion. I really don't think that's true. I don't think that Central C is cheating on, was cheating or is still cheating on his current girlfriend with Ice Spice. I don't think so. I think I saw a picture of the girlfriend, sitting and G's behind her and things like that. And I think she was actually joking. It was a playful post and things like that. So I really don't think that Central C is cheating on his girlfriend with Ice Spice. Ice Spice would not dare do that to Riot, especially now. Do you understand what I'm saying? That could never be, yeah, that would be the end of her career, because nobody else is going to be able to tolerate her. Like I'm always saying, she shouts all the time, and it only takes somebody who loves you to tolerate that. No shade, okay? So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, Kenya Moore. It seems like, well, those allegations that Kenya Moore's products were being taken off the shelves of Sally's, Kenya took to her Instagram to shut down those rumors. She did a little video where she was going to Sally's to buy her own products and things like that. So I'm glad that, her bread did not get cut off, because in my previous video, I even told you that I kind of feel bad for Kenya Moore for that happening to her, because people have done worse on that, franchise and have not faced any consequences. Okay. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to talk about, Ken Barbie. Now, it's drama over there. Ken Barbie came out here. I don't know if he was told to go and clear the air, because I'm sure Amon was behind the scenes threatening to expose it all. But it's safe to say that Ken Barbie was backtracking on each and every single thing that he has ever said about Armon Wiggins. Okay, so I'll just try and insert the snippet of what he had to say. But there are things that stood out to me in all that Ken was, was claiming. He was out there asking, pleading with Amon to leave him alone. Okay, he was like, Amon, you need to leave me alone and things like that. And I'm like, the irony of it all, okay, that now that you've met your match, amen, Armon Wiggins, you're out there pleading that Amon leaves you alone. But when Jetavia was out there telling you to leave her alone, no, you were like, I'm not gonna leave you alone. And that's a woman. Okay, and you were going in hard on Jetavia, and Jetavia was saying, please leave me alone. But now you want Armon Wiggins to leave you alone. Like, make it make sense. Like, the amount of delusion, you guys, that is in that Ken Barbie situation, like everything that he was talking about, I was like, oh my God. I knew that he was delusional the moment that he was out there saying that, well, the Transformer was going to come out and, lash at Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj said that it's getting uglier than Ken Barbie. When he said that, I knew that it was delusional, because anyone in their right minds could tell that that was not even a thing. The Transformer was never going to do that, okay? So I kind of knew he was delusional, but like in this new live, you guys, please, I want you to watch it and see delusion in its finest form, okay? The fact that he moves around saying that, oh, she's my best friend, oh my God, this. So the way that we operate is, if the Transformer has a problem, then I have a problem. If I have a problem, then the Transformer has a problem. And I'm like, is that what she tells you guys? To manipulate you? Because since I've known these guys, it's always been, if the Transformer has a problem, then Ken Barbie has a problem. It was never the other way round. It was never the other way around. So the fact that he convinces himself out there that, well, they all take up for each other is insane to me. It's very hilarious to me, okay? So I would just quickly insert all of that. Like, he was literally backtracking at everything. Oh, we don't laugh about you, Amon, but last time you said they did. Or we don't record phone calls, or we never asked you to be on our team. Like, he said a bunch of things that were very contradicting. And I will just insert snippets, and then I'll insert also commentary in between those snippets, just so you guys can see the amount of delusion that is in that camp. And the fact that in everything that he was saying, it's always the Barbz this, or the Barbz were going to laugh at us, or the Barbz, or, and I'm just like... When are you guys going to stop blaming the Barbz for everything that you guys do? Were we there when you guys were out there sitting down and plotting and doing all your bills, your deals, and, asking each other to be on each other's side? Were we there? When you guys promised each other interviews and things like that, were we there? So how is it now our fault that we're just watching public, a public spectacle? Like, literally, how is it our fault? But anyway, let me just insert that, you guys, and let me know what you think about that.
In my life, recorded any phone call with Armon, nor has Cardi. So if any type of recording does exist, it is not to our knowledge, and it is not from our end. I don't think there was ever really anything scandalous enough to feel like that needed to be done. Like, we cool, like, with the Also, I see it was insinuated that I think they were trying to, I don't know if they were trying to say me or Cardi, but they were trying to say that somebody said we want you on our side. I want to give some clarification on that. Um, I said something similar. What I said was, and actually, let me roll back and tell y'all what was going on. So it was another one of those situations where someone was telling him that something I tweeted at the time was about him or trying to shut down something that he was saying or something like that. So that became a thing where we going at it. And I ended up asking him, like, look, can you, the person that's telling you this after we cleared it up, I'm like, can you get them on the phone so that we can talk about this? Because I don't understand. Like, and I feel like they're kind of like trying to stir the pot and make these things about you so that we can have some type of issue against each other. So we all got on the phone, had this conversation, and had a bit of a, and had a, more so me and Armon had the understanding, but this person was on the phone like, um, still kind of, she was like, okay, but she was also like bringing up questions like, well, I don't know. I think it's just really convenient that you tweeted this around this time. You know what I think it was? I think it was when he was having an issue with Lotto, and I had tweeted later in the day about like how the Barbz and these bloggers and stuff were picking with her at the time because it was when she had just fell out with old girl. So I tweeted something like, "It's a lot of picking going on Lotto right now, whatever the case may be." Was it directed at him directly? No, but that is what was going on. So we kind of talked about that, but she's just like, I think it's really convenient that you tweeted that when he was going back and forth with her, though. Da, 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 da. I think you want it to be like good cop, bad cop, like y'all got some type of issue with each other. Those are the words that she was using. And my response to that was like, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I'm the type of person that always thinks about the future. I always think about the bigger picture. So even if I did have an issue with you, Armand, I'm not going to make that a public spectacle. Reason I'm not going to make that a public spectacle and make people think that is because I already know how this specifically on Twitter. And from there, that other side that is so invested in trying to see us lose or have some type of issue with us or whatever, they are going to latch on, try to be cool, boost it up, and that type of thing. Exactly what's pretty much been happening now, actually. So I didn't lie, but I said that I was like, I don't have time for that. So no, I actually would never do that. So it wasn't a situation where somebody was trying to like bribe to be over here, whatever the case may be. It wasn't that. So I wanted to make sure we cleared that up real quick too, because I noticed a lot of people were making their assumptions about what that meant. But no, that's pretty much what I said. I don't know if verbatim, if that's how I said it because it was so long ago now, but that was the gist of what was going on and what I meant. Um, but as far as like wanting you to like diss people and things like that, don't give a fuck. Never gave a fuck. Because that's not, I just don't give a, I don't care. It's not that deep. Do what you want to do. Um, but yeah, like I don't know what else you want. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want Cardi to do. I just don't know. Um, but as far as like wanting you to like diss people and things like that, don't give a never gave a fuck. Because that's not I just don't give a I don't care. It's not that deep. Do what you want to do. Um, but yeah, like I don't know what else you want. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want Cardi to do. I just don't know. But it's not for me to figure out. I'm respectfully bowing the fuck out. I will not be addressing this anymore. So anything that you say, you got it. But I'm respectfully asking to leave me the fuck alone. I have not slandered you. You know everything that I said. I haven't lied one bit. So just leave me alone. It's really that simple. Um, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it. I want to read some comments real quick, just so I can see if there's any questions, if it's anything that I left out. Because once we leave, we will not be back here. What shirt? Hold on, y'all. A lot of times my comments don't work while I'm on Spaces. Nobody. Okay, so I don't really see no like crazy questions or anything, so I think we good. Um, yeah, I'm good. I'm the type of person. Actually, real quick, I've seen people like try to say this thing about um I guess that I'm messy and I'm picking and I bully and things like that. No, um, especially like recent times, like the last year or so. Like it's and more so in the last couple months too. Like I've been really hard on it. Like I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but I barely give any opinion in my post now. What I'm gonna start doing probably tomorrow or either Monday. It depends on how my day looks. But what I'm gonna start doing is with the full articles that are on my website, I'll still put like some input in there. But as far as social media, I feel like that's so misconstrued easily and things like that. Um, that I need to be a little bit more intentional because with what I do now outside of blogging, I don't ever want it to be situations where I've said something or I've said something and it's been taken incorrectly and I'm walking in meetings or certain rooms or events and everybody's supposed to be cool, but this person has a problem with me because of something I said on my page. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. I'm looking at the bigger, I'm growing the, that's what I'm doing. So this whole narrative about what Ken does and Ken is so bad and Ken is doing, no, the I understand that you don't like some of the things I stand for. You don't like that I take up for Cardi. You don't like that I debunk some of the things you say. And this part is not about Armon specifically. This is about a lot of people. But stop lying because you know it's not given that. And once you scroll down my page, if you're gonna see it hasn't been given that. Maybe a couple years.
Well, there you heard what the man had to say. And I'm now wondering what else is Ken doing? Because remember the other time he was talking down on Amon's folk soul gig? So I'm like, what are you doing that is so important? You know, the way he keeps on saying, oh, stuff that I'm now doing outside of YouTube. Is he now the Transformers official PR? Like, is he on that team? And is that why he was out there looking down on Foxo and stuff like that? Like when this guy talks, I'm just looking at him like, oh my God, he really does believe the things that he says. He believes that is all that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of confidence, but I've noticed that with him, well, there's a little bit sprinkle of Delulu over there. Because what in the behind is that? Oh my God. So I will insert the rest of the snippet, you guys, and you will just continue hearing what the man had to say about that entire situation. Okay. Like you can tell that the Transformer really has a leash on that. He also talks about how, when him and Amon had a misunderstanding and consult the Transformer first. Oh, what should I say to Amon? Should I talk to Amon? And the Transformer gave him, the green light, like, yeah, you can go ahead and talk to him in school. And I'm like, in one breath you're like, oh well, we are equals in this relationship. In one breath you're like, we don't talk about Amon. And in another breath you're like, well, you had to consult the Transformer first before talking to Armon Wiggins. The insanity of it all, you guys. It's insane at this point. I'm just like, listen, you guys can team up and do your little thing, and there's no coming back from this. Amon, like, as it now, people know that Amon is just on your side. You guys were teammates. You guys were like this, and all this may have started because the Transformer wanted to be friends with blogs, which was unheard of in the history of Hollywood. It was not a thing. Okay, if anything, if a blog was to be paid for publicity, it was done by the team, not by the artists themselves. So this entire thing of the Transformer wanting to lobby all blogs to her side, this is what caused all this mess. And the insanity of it, all this energy that she spent recruiting all these blogs, had she spent that energy building an actual fan base, we wouldn't be having this issue. Because at the end of the day, what are bloggers going to do? They will write slander and things like that. And of course, you will look like you're the sweetest person in the court of public opinion. But here's the thing. Not every person in the public is a female rap fan. Do you understand what I'm saying? Of course, if you go on blogs like The Shade Room, you go on the blogs like, the Neighborhood Talk, of course, people will be out there saying, oh, you're the sweetest person, because articles are being written in your favor. But that does not translate into sales. Because maybe just a quarter of those people who are, calling you a sweet girl and things like that, maybe a quarter or even less than a quarter of people will attend a female rap show. So it really does nothing for your career. And I'm sure now she's realizing all this mess and chaos that she has around her was not worth it. This explains why she's always on the edge. Because everybody thinks they've got a secret on her. That's why she also thinks she has a secret on everybody. That's why she's recording phone calls and stuff like that, moving like a blogger, because each and every one of your friends are bloggers. Like, what is this? But anyway, let me just insert the rest of the snippet. I will not insert the entire thing, you guys, because it's very, very long. And we don't want to have like an hour listening to Ken Barbie being delusional, okay? So I will insert the rest of the snippet. And you guys let me know what you think about that. Thank you very much, you guys, for watching. And thank you very much for making it this far. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time that I post. I post each and every single day, and I keep you updated on what's happening in the celebrity world on Instagram, on Twitter, and about all things trending. Until my next one, see you.
Spaces today that I heard saying that him and Cardi fell out for whatever reason, and that's what it was. They both understood each other at this point about why it was a problem. But he also feels like I was in her ear trying to stop him from being friends with her. Like, what type of middle school is this? What type of middle school is that? What would you being friends with her have to do with me? What would that change for me? For me to give a fuck? That to me, it more so shows like the type of timing that you were on. Because why are you so focused on me? Like I said in the previous spaces, there's been multiple instances, not only in private but also in public, where Armon has said things like, "Oh, why is she always posting Ken Barbie but not posting me? Why is she always sharing Ken Barbie's content and liking Ken Barbie's content, but she don't do the same for me? Why is Ken Barbie in the friends and family section and I'm over here in the crowd?" And it's just one of those things where you look at it, it's like, do you know the friends and family? Like, what are you talking about? And just to set the scene with that really quick, because I don't want it to get misconstrued or to seem like I'm trying to be funny or flex or anything like that. It's like, all right, so the last birthday party that Cardi had, she had on like the red, I think it was the burlesque thing, the last public birthday party. Um, it was the stage in the front, stage up in front, and then friends and family like right here off to the side, and the rest was just the club venue in front. Um, the friends and family section was legitimately just friends and family. So it was Cardi's actual relatives and then her immediate friends that, like me and T Style, so forth, like the people that, and also the friends that she like grew up with, like came up with. It wasn't in a situation where there were like any celebrities or media or anything like that over there. If any celebrities wanted to come through, for example, I think Ice Spice came up at some point, Glorilla came up at some point, Chance the Rapper, a couple people came through, but they didn't stay over there either. They came on the stage, danced with Cardi a little bit, spoke to her, showed her love, and they moved on. So for somebody like Armon to be like, okay, but why is Ken Barbie over there? Why am I not over there? It's like, what do I have to do with you? What do I have to do with you? And what I honestly feel, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. If there's any rebuttal, I don't give a fuck. So he might tell y'all that, but I don't. This is it for me. But what I honestly feel is that because I'm a blogger, and I think I said this on the previous space, because I'm a blogger, and he saw that relationship and how she shows love and how she does support my content and things like that, that if he showed the same type of support and because he does something media wise as well, that he would see the same things. And I feel like that's not a realistic expectation. Maybe you didn't know any better as far as to how close we were or how that looks, but it's like once you step into the situation and you see that that's not what it is and kind of more of what that dynamic is, what's the obsession with comparing to me? And to me, the way that you know I'm right in saying that is because I'm not Cardi's only friend. I'm not Cardi's only best friend, if you really want to wake it up. So when you make these comparisons as to like, oh, why is she liking Ken Barbie's pictures and why is she sharing Ken Barbie's pictures and things like that? Why is it always me? Why was it never asked that about like T Styles? Why was it never asked that about like Star? It was always just me. So it seems like, oh, you must think that it's something different there because I'm a blogger, right? Does this make sense? Because I want to make sure that we actually making sense tonight because I feel like I was rambling and a lot of people kind of misconstrued the things that I was saying last time. So I need some thumbs up or something if this is making some fucking sense. Because again, this is it for me. But yeah, so if it's not a personal thing to me or as far as like an expectation because of what I do, why am I the only name that's brought up? You wouldn't have the audacity to ask her why she's sharing Star Story or something. You wouldn't have the audacity to ask her why she's sharing T Styles or Ashanti Story or something. So why me? Because I'm a blogger, right? Name still in your mouth. It's yet another example of what's been going on the last couple months. Laughing at him being fired from Fox Soul. And why would I be laughing at him while he was in New York? He was in New York on vacation. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything. First and foremost, I was not laughing at you. I'm an adult. I've been I've been on my own since 17 years old. So that means before I became who I am today and all of that, I've worked all types of jobs and had my life. And I've been through enough to know somebody losing their job and that type of shit, that's not a kiki to me. That's not funny. That's not a hee hee ha ha. Because not only have I been through it, but anybody can go through it at any given point. Even especially in the entertainment industry. It can go away just like that. So I'm not the type of person that really takes all these pleasures and things like that and people losing. I don't give a fuck about that. Because whether you winning or losing or whatever the case may be, I still gotta get it how I live. I still gotta work. So no, I was not laughing at anything that had to do with you. I wasn't thinking about you. But you keep mentioning, oh, I was in New York or whatever the case may be. Again, I don't know what the that has to do with anything because when you've been spending your time figuring out ways the last 6 months, basically this whole year. So what we at 6, 7 months at this point. When you've been spending your entire year so far on this campaign trashing Cardi and adding me into it and shading me at every chance that you got, you don't know where the fuck was. I've been everywhere. So no matter what state I was in, you were shading me. So what difference would it have made? But I guess the point that he was trying to make was like I was just shading him for no reason. He hasn't done anything to me. And what I said the other day that I guess set him off was I said, okay, I actually wasn't. I don't care about the Fox Soul situation, and I don't even know all the fucking details to be able to kiki about it. But let's just say, for shits and giggles, if I did say anything, why can't I? Because for the last 6 months, You've been talking about me for no reason. You've been picking and talking shit for no reason. So at this point, obviously we're not cool. So if I did laugh, how can you get mad because you say what you want to say? That was my point. I wasn't saying that I did or anything like that. I actually said I did not. I don't give a fuck that. But what do I owe this man to where I should watch what the fuck I have to say? You don't. I've noticed like with a lot of these content creators, it's okay for you to say whatever the fuck you want to say, but the minute somebody says something about you, it's rah rah. I gotta clap back. I wanna say this. I'm gonna drag them. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, bruh. So then you need to shut the fuck about me then. Because the thing is, I won't even say shit about you. The fucking tweet you was referencing was days after apparently you even announced that happened. So how are we connecting the two? And that's an example, and that's gonna lead us into like the main thing here. That's an example of so many different times. Anytime that I've tweeted something, I'm not gonna say every time, but plenty of times, when I've tweeted something that might have been shady, or a song lyric that might have been shady, or anything of the sort, I've gotten text messages or calls from Armon like, who is this about? Is this supposed to be about me? And da 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 da. And I've literally had to ask this man, like, yo, do you have some type of smoke for me? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right. So for me, we don't have no type of smoke. Why is anything that I'm saying that's shady or whatever the case may be, why would you even think it's directed to you? Because if you talking shit, I'm not gonna think you talking to me because we don't have an issue. Unless it's something that's way too direct, like what you've been doing the last couple months. Feel me? So this idea or this thought, and I honestly think I don't even think I don't know, he might really think it, but I don't even think Armand really thinks this. But this thought that I would had was in Cardi's ear, or whatever the case may be, when they fell out, I hadn't talked to Cardi about it yet. Armand tech I said this on the previous space, but we gonna clarify it a little bit more because like I said, some of y'all had it real up. So we're gonna make sure the patterns and it makes sense this time. All right. So they fell out, whatever their situation was. I'm not really gonna get too deep into that because I feel like that part is not really relevant. Like it's not my place. So they went through whatever their situation was. Armand hit me up on like some rah rah shit, like accusing me of having something to do with telling her what happened that she was mad about, or like being in her ear about it. And I'm like, what the? First of all, who are you talking to? Secondly, what are you talking about? Like, I haven't even talked to Cardi about that yet. Like, what's going on? So of course, I called her, heard what was going on, whatever the case may be, and I text him like, I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that. I don't know. I didn't know what was going on, but now that she's kind of filled me in, I get it. I get exactly why she's upset. So I can definitely call you in a few because he had asked me to call him before that, but I wanted to make sure that I knew what was happening before I called him. And of course, I'm going to want to hear that from my friend before I call you. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to know. I need to know what my bitch said. So, um, I'm like, I mean, now that I have heard like her side of the story, I get exactly why she's mad. But I can call. I was like, I'll call you in a few and tell you if you still want to talk or whatever. And he was like, yes, please do, because I don't get it. So from that point, we actually got on the phone. We were probably on the phone for like 2 hours, right? And I'm not going to go over the whole conversation because that's not really important. But my entire point throughout that phone call was give her time, first of all, because I know Cardi like the back of my fucking hand. And a lot of her fans probably know this too. Like in the moment, when she's upset, she gonna go. She own it. But if you just give her a second and chill, don't really like antagonize her and bug her after the fact, she's gonna talk to you. whether that comes as like an apology or just kind of like revisiting, explaining the situation, or she might not even address it at all and might just carry on like nothing happened. But the point is, like, I actually told him, like, it's not really you. Yes, you did do something, and yes, she's valid and feeling some type of way about it. But I honestly think if this was at a different time, that she wouldn't have really gave as much of a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, she probably still would have had an issue, but she wouldn't have, went in or anything. But my overall point was just give her time. Like, she got a lot going on, and this is not helping. So just chill. Don't take it personal, and I think y'all be good. Mind you, I had, like I said before, I talked to him, I had talked to her. So not only is it that I know her, but also I knew where she was on the situation. So it's like, dude, just relax and listen to me. Like, it's all right. It's not that deep. So he actually told me at the end of that phone call, he's like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna leave it alone. I understand where she's coming from. Um, I still feel a type of way about some of the things he said, but I get it. It's cool. I'm actually glad that we had this issue. Like, maybe now that we felt falling out somehow, we'll start to get closer or whatever, whatever. Some stupid shit like that. Um, and I was just like, I bet. Like, have a good day. And that was it. So it was silence after that. There was no issue. He hadn't reached out to me. He hadn't reached out to Cardi as far. Yeah, he hadn't. Um, but a little bit after that, he just started like going on this campaign of like shading her, and everything she did was horrible, and everything was negative, negative, negative when it came to her. And it started to become like really almost obsessive looking and weird. And to me, it's like, all right, that's one shit. I just broke my nail, y'all. But I was like, to me, it's one thing for you to be doing that, and most people know in situations like that, I would generally say something, but I kind of like held back because it was like I think this dude is really just in his feelings, so I guess he'll get over it. Maybe they'll talk or something like that. But I'm a hold off for a second. As the days can start going on and on, I'm starting to be mentioned and I'm starting to be disrespected, like finding different ways to like shade me from platform to platform, like whether it's in YouTube videos or spaces, no matter what the topic was, somehow it was going to end up as Cardi, and then somehow Ken was going to be brought up and shaded. And it's just like, what are you mad at me for? We didn't fall out. We didn't have words. Our conversation actually ended positively, which, to be 100% honest with you, is actually weird as fuck. For my typical, because typically the way that me and Cardi operate is if I got an issue, she got an issue. If she got an issue, I got an issue. Y'all know how it go. But because I had some type of rapport with Armon, I wasn't really, I was trying to like, let it rock. And again, the initial thing, like it wasn't that deep at first. Like she would have let it go too, eventually. Um, but because he did so much and talked so much shit about the both of us over and over again, it was just like eventually it turned into a situation where it's like, okay, now I don't fuck with you because you're disrespecting me. And I didn't do anything to you. So this whole narrative about, oh, I think Ken Barbie tried to stop me from getting closer and he blocked me, he did what he had to do. It's like, how is that what I had to do? What do you think? What do you think was going to happen if you managed to get closer to her? Like, the fuck you think this is? Sending the replacements or something? Like, what are we talking about? Like, that wouldn't matter to me. You really got me fucked up. But my thing is, like, I don't even know if you really genuinely believe that because you know what happened. You know we didn't argue. You know we didn't fall out. You know that the issue that y'all had nothing to do with me. I want to make sure that we're all clear on that. That issue literally had nothing to do with me. I wasn't in it, which is why I didn't know about it initially. I'm sure she was going to tell me, of course. But when he brought it to me first, I didn't know shit about it. So to sit here and try to spin this narrative that it's like, oh, Ken's in her ear, like da 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 da, like, bruh, no. How? How does that add up with what actually happened? Because you know what you did, you know what made you upset that she said. So it's like, where do I even fit into that? Especially since after it